Good morning, Southland Division. Y'all, how you feeling right now? How you feeling? Put it in the chat. How are you feeling? I love to see it. Energetic. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, hey, I'm excited, everybody. I'm excited because I am going to be giving you some of the goods that I remember giving this message a couple of years back in a division event as well that are definitely going to help you when it comes to getting introductions, when it comes to getting recommendations, but at the same time, how to really utilize the app, especially for a lot of you that may not have necessarily used the app as much when you started off, but really being able to take advantage of these things and just take your business, take your recommendations, take your introductions to the next level that you want it to be at. And I want you to understand there will be tips, there will be tricks, there's things that I'm going to be teaching you, but a lot of it is really going to come down to your mindset as to how you look at introductions and how you look at recommendations. So with that, if you don't already have a pen, if you don't already have a sheet of paper, if you don't have somewhere to take notes, then go ahead and make sure to have that. But I first wanted to start off with the app, and I wanted, again, to kind of give you that idea, give you that mindset that you want to have when working with customers. Understand that 50% of your customers are going to download the app no matter what, right? They're just not going to question it. They're going to just download the app. There's going to be about 40% of people that are just going to need your guidance and some help when they're downloading the app. And this is where your guidance is really important. A situation like this, at least when you're helping people with the app, it really just boils down to something as similar, as simple as when you're helping out your parents or your grandparents, for example, with something on their phone that they just don't know how to access or they don't know how to do, or when you're just resetting the router and they look at you like you're somebody who is a tech wizard or something like that. But in reality, it's just you guiding them through these things, right? And it's the exact same thing when it comes to the app. All you need to make sure is that you need to just guide them through the steps when they're downloading the app, but at the same time, just making sure that they have all the information. And the video, if y'all aren't playing the video for your customers, at least that first video where he talks about the app, that's a great video to play because then they get an understanding of, you know, why they have to go through the steps that they need to in order to download it. So I want you to, again, just keep that in your mind that 50% of people are going to download it no matter what. 40% are really just going to need your guidance. And then there will be about 10% of people that for whatever reason just don't download the app, and that's completely fine, right? If that happens with those people, just grab out a pen, grab out a sheet of paper, whatever you need to do, and make sure to really just utilize that rather than having to have them download the app or anything like that, right? But again, the app has been designed to help all of you be able to succeed. And I can tell you, man, if this app was something that was out when I first started, it would have been a game changer, saved a whole lot of time as well. And the last thing I want you to understand is if you have confidence with the app, then your customer will too, right? Has anyone heard the saying, it's not awkward unless you make it awkward? Right? Exact same thing, right? If you have confidence with that, then your customer is also going to have confidence. And if you tell them, hey, just go ahead, download the app, they're going to do it, right? No questions asked. So I want all of you, again, to understand that there's a mindset when it comes to this. And mastering the introductions is really one of the most important aspects of our business. And I'll explain why. Without introductions, we can't make phone calls. Without phone calls, we can't do demos. Without demos, we can't close. And it all starts with the introductions. And all it takes, everyone, is just several customers to put down introductions. And after that, you can just let people know that introducing or recommending people is something normal through that social proof. So during this message that I'm going to be giving today, I'm honestly going to repeat a lot of information that you've probably heard before, but knowing is doing. So if you're not getting an average of 5 introductions per appointment, you need to start implementing this information. And it all starts with building great rapport, everybody. If they like you and they trust you, they'll have no problem introducing you to other people, right? And at the same time, if they like you and they trust you, they'll find a way to help you out, right? Whether that's buying, whether that's introducing you to more people. So you want to make sure that you start off strong by building great rapport with the customer. And of course, that starts on the phone. It starts at the beginning of the demo, right? But just make sure that you build that rapport, because if they like you and they trust you, they're going to have no issues introducing you to other people. But I do have some very key tips that I would like to give you. So my very first one for all of you is probably one that you've never heard before. Memorize the introductions approach. It's that simple, y'all. It's that simple. I know you probably haven't heard it before, but just letting you know, that's something that you definitely want to make sure that you do. And as far as just knowing your approach, if you know the approach, you're going to sound more confident when you're asking for introductions, because you're not thinking of what you're saying. And the customer, they can definitely see that, right? So you want to make sure that you know the approach word for word. And everyone, the manual has been proven to work, so just follow it, right? Especially with the app, everything in the script is designed to help your customers with the steps that they need to take in order to give you introductions in chronological order, right? Everything's already laid out for you. All you have to do is read. All you have to do is just have that approach down. When you're confident, again, things are just going to work the way that they're going to. You're going to be able to get introductions. You're going to be able to help them with the app, and you're going to be able to just go from there, right? The second one I have for you, the second big key I have for you is plant seeds about introductions during the demo. Plant seeds about asking for introductions during the demo, right? During the goal sharing section, one of my favorite lines to really leverage is, my number one goal is not to sell you anything you don't need, but for you to like me and Cutco enough to where you can introduce me to your friends and family. My number one goal is not to sell you anything you don't need, but for you to like me and Cutco enough to where you can introduce me to your friends and family. In the names and uses section, plant lots of seeds there. The spatula spreader, it can be used for bagels. It can be used to make sandwiches. It can be used to cut lasagna. For brownies, who do you know that makes the best brownies, right? Leverage these things. And the master carving set, especially this weekend, y'all, the master carving set, who do you know that hosts for the holidays or that likes to have barbecues, right? Get introductions that way. Start to make a mental note of the people that they mention, and then you can always bring it up at the end. And during the demo, you want to continue to plant seeds about this, because you want to just give the customer an opportunity to start thinking of people that they can introduce you to as you're showing the products, as you're just building rapport with them, right? So really make it a thing as you continue to do your demos. The third big key I have for you is, after closing, always ask for introductions. All right. And a couple things when it comes down to this, a couple things that I wanted to go over is, have a clear number of how many introductions you want. All right. If you know that you want 10 introductions, get 10 introductions, right? If you don't know how many you want, well, then the customer doesn't either, and then they probably end up only introducing you to 1 or 2 people, right? So you want to have a clear number that you give them, and really use the sponsorships, leverage the sponsorships to get yourself to 5, to get yourself to 10. And you can even use some free stuff if you have some available, to be able to basically bribe your customer, right? I remember there was one demo that I did in order to break my record. I think my record was 49 introductions at the time. I told my customer, hey, if you go ahead and introduce me to more than 49 people, if you break my record, I'll go ahead and give you, I think I had an extra can opener or peeler for free. And they ended up doing that, right? So make sure to just leverage those things. And if you don't necessarily have a record that's extremely exciting just yet, use your office's record, right? Ask your manager what that is, and then you're able to leverage that, because some customers, they just like being competitive, and they'll definitely want to introduce you and recommend you to some more people. Now, again, another big mindset key that I wanted to talk about is you want to expect getting introductions like you would just expect getting an order, right? If you expect it to happen, it's going to happen. If you're not expecting it to happen, it's probably not going to happen, right? So make sure to expect introductions as much as you would expect an order. That way you have the confidence when asking for introductions. My fourth big key I have for you is handle any concerns or objections that the customer has. And guys, in the chat box, let me know, when is the best time to answer an objection, a concern, a question that the customer may have? When is the best time to do that? Before they come up. Absolutely, Varsha. Yep, before they come up. And what you want to let the customer know, you can add this in as well. I know it's already in the script there, but really before asking for introductions, you can let them know, hey, I'm sure that you'll probably want to email me a huge list of people that you want to introduce and recommend me to. But what's great is that this app actually allows everything to make it allows things to be much easier in the sense that we're able to essentially go through the people that you know and see who you want to introduce me to, but at the same time also gives you an opportunity to be able to reach out to them to let them know that I'll be calling, right? And the easiest way to handle that is just by using that heads up text or that yes text that's in the app. And guys, that again, the app is a game changer just because it has everything already built in. It has everything ready just to make your lives easier, to make the customers' lives easier. So you want to make sure to really utilize that. And when they send that yes text or that heads up text, this is something that's going to allow, and I'll talk a little bit about this, but it's going to allow your phone time to be easier. It's going to allow you to just know who are the best people to reach out to. And one thing I would always say as well, if they, for some reason, sometimes people just don't hear you the first time, so you have to repeat things. But one basically key thing I like to say, and this is going to be long, so if you need me to actually put in the chat, I'll go ahead and do that. But if Mrs. Jones, if Auntie Sally, for whatever reason, was a little bit hesitant or concerned, I would always just let them know, hey, I completely understand how you feel, Mrs. Jones. As a matter of fact, a lot of my customers felt the same way. So they found that messaging everyone really helped out, since I don't want anyone to get mad at you for giving their number to me. And since I don't like to call people without their permission, there's a message that you can send to them. So just go ahead and put down the names of people that you think would be nice enough to help me out, and make sure to message each person as you go. That way, no one's left out. If they say yes, I'll make sure to contact them as soon as possible. If they say no, I'll go ahead and cross out their name or basically take them off the app and make sure I don't call them. Does that sound fair? Right? And again, as long as you repeat these things, as long as you have confidence when you're saying it, it's really going to go a long way. I'm going to put it in the chat as well for everybody. That way you can all see it there. But that is what you can use. And what's great, everybody, too, is that the app and the demo itself have these things that you can say, right? So if the customer has any other objections, if they have any other concerns, well, guess what? We got answers, right? If they say, hey, I'll send them to you later, again, it's a different form of what I was mentioning. You can just say this, I don't know that many people. Boom, you say this, right? If they say, I don't like to give out people's names, you can say this, let me talk to them first, I'll get back to you. Doesn't have a smartphone, whatever the case is, it's all here, right? And these are things that all of you have seen before. So it's nothing that's new. It's nothing that should be surprising to you, but it's definitely something that you want to utilize, right? Again, interactive demo, the demo itself, it's there to be able to help you out, and the app is designed to help you out as well. So definitely make sure to utilize it. Now, I want you to understand another thing too. Make sure that while you're on the demo, that the customer sends out the text, because if it doesn't happen then, it's not ever going to happen, right? When people say, hey, let me call you back and let me think about that order, or let me think about getting whatever it is that you're showing them, they don't call back, right? They're not going to reach out again. It's the same exact thing with introductions. You want to make sure you send them then and there. That way you don't even have to worry about having to follow up. You don't want to have to worry about getting the introductions later, right? There's probably been a couple of you that have done that before. I know I was guilty of that when I first started, but you want to make sure that you just send it, or they send it out then and there. That way they don't even have an issue with sending it out later, because life happens, things happen, things come up. And as soon as you're finished up with the demo, they've got other things that are on their mind as well. So make sure that they send it then and there, right? This is going to make your phone time a lot easier, because if the customer sends out the text, and again, they let you know who's saying yes, and if there's anyone that's not interested, you're able to really focus on the people that have already said yes. They basically already agreed to taking a phone call. They're definitely going to agree to you doing a demo, right? So you want to make sure that you really leverage this, that you really utilize this, because again, it's going to cut down your phone time. You're going to be able to book more demos, making less calls, because you know who are the people that you can reach out to. And you might even have some of your customers let you know then and there during the demo who has already said yes, and then you can make a note of that. That way you know who you can reach out to during your phone time. The fifth key I have for you is qualify your introductions, qualify your leads. Now, this is where writing notes within the app is really helpful in case you need it, right? And let me go ahead and again show you where that's at. So if you take a look at this here, what you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure you take the notes in your app, right? All the information is right over here, everybody. So these are great things to definitely utilize. And also the questions that are on here are also really great, right? If you were me and you were in a big contest like I'm in right now, out of the people you sent me, who would be the first 5 you would want to show, right? They're basically giving you the best people to show. How do you know them, right? You want to know that relationship, because if you call, let's say if you call Mary and you say, hey, Mary, your friend Sally recommended or introduced me to you basically, and they're sisters, it's going to be awkward. All right. I've been there before, everybody, and it is not fun. So you want to make sure you know, or they, you know how they know each other and what that relationship is. And then from there, what do you like about them? Do they cook? Are they married? Right? These are all qualifying questions to see who the best people are to show the products to. And a couple other ones that you might just want to ask in there is, are they in a relationship? Right? Do they have a career or a job? Are they over 30? Right? And if you really think about it, what does that mean? We're looking for CSWs, right? So you want to make sure that you ask for the right type of people. And also you can ask for what they do for work. That way you have an idea as to when would be the best times to reach out to them. For example, if you know somebody's a teacher, they're probably not going to be as available during the day as they are in the evening, right? It can be the same for any other career, any other position that they're in. So you want to make sure you know these things, because the more you know about them, the easier your phone time is going to be, and the easier it's going to be to connect, build rapport, and build that relationship as soon as you give them a call. So do this. It's going to help you increase your average order. It's going to help you increase your closing percentage, because again, you're seeing the right people. You're seeing the people that you want to see, and you're seeing the best people. The sixth key I have for you is take your time when you're getting introductions. Guys, even if you're running behind and you have another demo that you need to hop on, don't rush the customer when you're getting introductions. Do not rush them. And once they finish selecting the names initially, ask for more. You never know who that one extra name or those couple extra names are going to be on your list that are going to help you to be that next big order, or whatever the case may be, right? I'll give you a perfect example of this. My high school counselor, this is my first summer on the position. I was super nervous to give him a call. Call the people on your chicken list, by the way. This is just another pro tip. But call the people on your chicken list, because he was definitely somebody that I needed to reach out to. And I did the demo for him. He ended up initially introducing me to about 6 people. I asked for one more. I asked for one more. Eventually, we got to 10. And the last person that he introduced me to with his wife was his wife's best friend growing up. And she was a doctor. They said, you know what? I don't know if she has time for it. She's pretty busy. I said, just put her down anyways. And then if she says no to the text, I just won't reach out to her. She ended up being my very first homemaker set that I sold. If I would have never asked, it would have never happened, right? But again, you have to ask. And another thing you want to utilize, everybody, you want to use is thought joggers. Hey, who do you know that likes to host? Who do you know that likes to have barbecues? Who do you know that likes high quality things? And this is just a pro tip for all of you as well. Whatever career you're looking at going into, ask for people that are working in that. Right? If you're looking at going into tech design, hey, who do you know that works in tech design, right? Who do you know that's a doctor? Who do you know that's a lawyer? Who do you know that's famous, right? Who do you know that is blank, right? Create your own thought joggers, but at the same time, you want to be efficient, and you also want to be effective when you're asking for people. So why not take advantage of that? Right? Why not take advantage of the opportunity that you have here? I know Sammy Pratt, for those of you that are in Newport, might know about her. She worked with us a couple summers ago, and she was looking to meet the CEO of the Anaheim Ducks. On every demo, she asked for that person, and then sure enough, she was introduced to the CEO of the Anaheim Ducks, right? Again, what you ask for is what you're going to get, so make sure to ask people what you want. And the 7th key I have for you, everybody, this is the final key I have. At the end of the demo, thank your customer for helping you out. End it with gratitude. By this time, again, the customer might be receiving some responses from friends, family about the text. So just make sure that you're taking notes on those things, and also set up a time later that day to follow up with Mrs. Jones, with the rest of the people that she texted, to see what they say, right? Again, you want to set it up then and there. That way you don't have to play the phone tag game or anything like that. You want to make sure that you have a set time where you're just going to reach out to Mrs. Jones to see who else said yes to the text, or just who else responded to the text, right? Your yeses, the people that responded, are going to be the people that you want to reach out to first. And then from there, you can reach out to other people that are on the list. And another pro tip as well, everybody, is sometimes you will have some customers that maybe have a nickname or go by a different name, or maybe their name is short for whatever their actual name is. Make sure to know what that is. That way, when you're calling the introductions or calling the recommendations, you know what that person knows them by, right? So if, let's say, customer's name is Suzanne, but they go by Susie and everyone knows them by Susie, you want to make sure that you know that, right? Because when you call the introductions and the recommendations, it shows that you really know that person, all right? So make sure that you know that. And then the final thing I want you to let your customer know is that if they ever think of anyone else, they can always just go back onto the app to introduce you to other people that they think of that they might not have thought of at that moment, right? And I'll go ahead and show you where that is at the very bottom here. Again, you just let them know, hey, thanks again, Mrs. Jones. You may end up thinking of some more people in the next few weeks, or you may run into someone who says they want Cutco. Anytime that happens, you can just pop open that app and send me more contacts, and it will sync up automatically and let me know who referred them to me. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? With that, everybody, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask me, or just anyone that you see on these champs clubs. Let's build our introductions list to improve as individuals, and as a division, let's do work.